In your hands is the essential guide to joining the ranks of the world's most successful people. That is what the sales pitch for the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill says. When writing this book, Hill analyzed over 500 exceedingly wealthy people for a long period of years. So pick up your notebook, cause soon we are going to know how we can learn to think like rich and discover wealth and success. You might have heard the story of Edwin C. Barnes before. He had a burning internal drive to go into business with, not for, with the famous inventor Thomas Edison. He had no inventions to pitch, no set of skills of use, and he didn't even have enough money to pay his rail fare to New Jersey. But because of his burning desire, he didn't let this obstacle stop him, and he decided to travel by blind baggage, so he hopped onto the freight train and managed to get into New Jersey. He went to the Edison's laboratory and announced he had come to go into business with Mr. Edison. Just a reminder, he had no inventions, no set of skills, not much money, but when Edison met him, he said, "He stood there before me looking like an ordinary tramp, but there was something in the expression of his face which conveyed the impression that he was determined to get what he had come after." Barnes did not get his partnership, but he got a chance to work in the Edison offices at a very nominal wage. But this gave him the chance to show what he is capable of. Months passed and Barnes still hadn't had his chance to become partners with Edison. But eventually, Barnes got his chance with Edison's dictating machine. Edison's salesmen were not enthusiastic about the machine and thought it couldn't be sold without great effort. But Barnes knew he could sell the machine and stepped in. And soon he sold the machine so successfully that Edison gave him a contract to distribute and market the machine all over the nation. And just like that, Barnes had literally taught himself into partnership with Edison. While most of us would have just thought that, oh well, I don't have what it takes, guess I'll become a salesman, he had nothing but the desire and determination to continue until his thoughts became true. This story summarizes the main point of the book, which is also the title of the book, Think and Grow Rich. But let's now go a little more deeply into the main points. The starting point of all achievement, desire. It is important to notice that Barnes' desire was not just a hope or a wish. He succeeded because he had a clear goal and used all of his energy and effort to achieve it. For years, everybody else thought he was just working for Edison, but he himself always saw himself as a business partner, nothing less. So you should also use desire to turn your thought into riches by following this recipe. How much money do you want? 1 million? 5 million? 100 million? We all want to become billionaires, but you have to know the exact amount you desire to be able to achieve it. Now, what are you going to give in return for that money? You won't receive $5 million if you don't give anything in return. After you have figured out those two steps, you should choose a specific date when you want to have that money. Now you create a plan, how are you going to achieve that money on that specific date, and most importantly, it is immediately time to put this plan into action. A plan without action is just a plan. And to get the most out of this, remind yourself every night and morning what are you trying to achieve by saying it aloud. The second important point is having faith. When the faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subconscious mind instantly picks up the vibration, translates it into its spiritual equivalent, and transmits it to infinite intelligence. If you don't believe in your dreams yourself, how could you ever achieve them? Autosuggestion is the key to developing faith. You have to repeat instructions to your subconscious mind. If you repeat a lie over and over again for a long period of time, you will eventually believe it yourself. So when you keep on repeating stuff to your subconscious mind, you will start to believe it. We are all who we are because of the dominating thoughts we have. So if there is something you want to achieve but are afraid of starting, keep repeating to yourself that you can do it, and one day you will have enough faith in yourself. Point number 3. Specialized knowledge. During World War I, Chicago newspaper stated that Henry Ford is an ignorant pacifist. Mr. Ford objected to the statements and brought a suit against the paper for labeling him. In the court, the paper tried to prove Ford as an ignorant by asking questions like, who was Benedict Arnold? How many soldiers did the British send over to America to put down the rebellion of 1776? When Ford became tired of the questioning, he replied, if I should really want to answer the foolish question you have been asking me, let me remind you that I have a row of electric push buttons on my desk, and by pushing the right button, I can summon people who can answer any question I desire to ask. Now, will you kindly tell me why I should clutter up my mind with general knowledge for the purpose of being able to answer questions when I have people around me who can supply any knowledge I require? So as you can see, there are two types of knowledge, general and specialized. If you want to become rich, you want to have specialized knowledge. You probably have heard that many billionaires have dropped out of college. This doesn't mean that they are dumb and have no knowledge, but instead of general knowledge, they have a lot of specialized knowledge. You have to decide the sort of knowledge you require and organize it into definite plans of action to reach your goals. The other important point this example shows is the fact that you need to surround yourself with people that are willing to help you reach your goal. It's a lot easier to achieve things when there are many people pursuing the same dream than by doing everything all by yourself. For example, making a rocket that lands would have been impossible to do if Elon Musk didn't surround himself with intelligent people that were specialized in that field. While Elon Musk was the driving force of the project, the people working there were as important. A group of electric batteries will provide more energy than a single battery. The mystery of sex transmutation. To accumulate riches, you have to transmute sex. According to Hill, sex desire is the most powerful of human desires. You can transmute the sex energy for action. This can be seen in animals, as mentioned in the book. When you castrate a bull, you remove the major source of action. Sex transmutation requires a lot of willpower, but by transmuting it into creative energy and actions, you can turn one into a genius. So how can you transmute sexual energy into creativity and actions? Next time when you are going to open your homework folder, instead of doing that, try to redirect the energy towards your goals. So those are the main points of the book. However, all of those points are completely useless if you are afraid of pursuing your dreams. Because of this, there is a chapter on how to outwit the 6 costs of fear. Fear of poverty. There are no compromises between poverty and riches, the road to them travel in the opposite directions. Conquering the fear of poverty is easy, just make money. Just kidding, but to get over the fear of poverty, you have to use the principles found in this book. Make a plan for how much money you want to acquire and when, and start to take action. Also, make sure to stop worrying with whatever amount of wealth you have. The fear of criticism. We have probably all faced this fear. When we are trying to do things, our parents, friends and relatives are always there to question us. Maybe you shouldn't waste your time making silly YouTube videos, just focus on your studies. I can tell you that after being away from YouTube for 2 years, it was terrifying to upload a new video. Will anyone even watch them? Will I get plenty of hate comments about how I can't speak proper English? We have all been there, but we shouldn't really care what others are saying. Easier said than done, but just focus on your happiness and don't care about what others think. The fear of ill health. Some people use their health as an excuse for not doing things. While I am making this video, I actually have a horrible headache. But since I promised to make a new video every Sunday, I will make a new video every Sunday. If I googled headache, I would probably find out that I am going to die in 2 days, so why bother doing anything? Okay, I might be over-exaggerating here, but don't stop doing things because you might become ill. Instead, focus on eating right, sleeping enough and exercising to lower the chance of becoming ill. The fear of the loss of love. This one really needs no explanation. If you're in a relationship, you might have become jealous at some point, even when there really is no reason to be jealous at all. When your loved one says that he or she is going out with friends, you shouldn't spend your energy on jealousy. Dwelling on negative thoughts is just a waste of energy, instead focus on positive things. The fear of old age. We all grow up, so why worry about it? Instead of having negative thoughts, think about all the experiences you are going to have in the future and how much knowledge can you have. The fear of death. This is the last fear on the list, but for some people this is the toughest one, mainly because we have no idea what happens after we die. There was actually such a cliché quote on a bus stop earlier this week. It was in Finnish, but it said, "If you are afraid of dying, you are not living, you are already dead." And even though I think that quotes like that are pretty dumb, there is a truth behind it. We will all die in the future, so why waste our time living worrying about death? Just accept the fact that someday you are going to die and make the most out of your life. So, those are the main points of the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. To quickly summarize the video, it all starts with just a thought. You have to have a burning desire and make yourself to have faith in yourself by making repeated affirmations to your subconscious mind. Instead of doing homework every night, try to transmute that energy into creativity and action. And lastly, all of these principles are useless if you can't get over the 6 costs of fear. There are a lot more principles in the book, so to get the most out of it, I highly recommend reading the book by yourself. If you want to buy the book and support my channel, you can find a link in the description. Thank you for watching this video, subscribe for weekly videos and more book summaries in the future. Have a great day and I'll see you later. Bye.